However, one thing we learned, and this is a problem that is not spoken a lot about in the United States, but a lot of people in the United States have a very low literacy level, a very low reading level. And so we learned we needed to make these at an easier to read level. So the one on the top there, it's the same topic and the same evidence based information, but at a fifth or sixth grade reading level, so easier to access. But even with that, we learned people really don't like to read a lot about health information. It's just not that interesting to people. So then what we did was we created on the far side and down at the bottom a rack card, so something more narrow, and a poster with very few words so that people could look at it, get the important information, and then go to the website if they wanted a lot more details. And we did this for a lot of other topics. This is just one example of back pain. We also learned that most people are not interested in healthcare in a certain topic of healthcare until they have that affliction, until they are sick, or until they are not feeling well. But we still wanted to be able to educate patients and healthcare consumers about this concept of overuse and that it can lead to harm. And so, what we thought to do was to create information on 5 questions to always ask your doctor before any medical test, before any treatment, or before any procedure. And the thought was that if people always knew what questions to ask, for example, do I really need this test or procedure? What are the risks? Or are there simpler or safer options? Those are 3 of them. If they always had those questions in mind, then they would be armed when they had some other medical problem and they could adapt those questions at their appointments. So we have posters, we have brochures. The next thing you'll see is wallet cards. So these are very small. You can put them in your wallet and bring them with you to your medical appointment right next to your insurance card. And we wanted to find out a little bit more about how well those worked. So right now we are actually doing a survey. Starting on July 1st, we opened up a survey, and it will end at the end of September. So we're about a little bit more than midway through it right now. 80,000 people said they were interested in participating in the survey to find out how well these questions worked at their appointment. So I don't have results yet because we are just in the middle of it. But I do have some trends from the first 4,500 people who took the survey. What they did was when they went to their doctor, they brought the card with them, they asked the questions that were appropriate, and then they went right into the waiting room and we had an app for them. And we asked them some specific questions, like which of these questions did you use? Did you find them helpful? Did they change your opinion? How did the doctor react? And what we learned was 1 in 5 people who used them changed their plans about getting a certain medical test or treatment and also changed their opinion on it. 9 out of 10 people who used them said that their doctor was very open to answering the questions, and that 9 out of 10 also would encourage their family and their friends to use these questions. So again, we are still in the field. These might change as we close out the survey at the end of September, but those are some early findings.